Okay guys, welcome to today's video. In last video we made a paper towel roll holder, which some of you might have seen. Now that was pretty complicated in terms of the tools and some of the techniques that we're using. So in today's video I'm going to try and keep it simple. That's today's slogan. With our theme of actually keeping it simple, we're going to stick to something pretty basic. I'm thinking of making a set of coasters, maybe a few sets depending on sort of what we actually want to make it out of and how we're actually going to do it. The simplest technique that we actually have available to us that comes to mind is just solid wood. Now, solid wood meaning a square, sort of what we did for the bases in last video. Another option is also wooden patterns. So what I mean by that is actually layering different types of wood and cutting it real thin, you know, basically as thin as a coaster. But by layering that wood actually gives us a pattern, which might actually give us some interesting ways to keep it simple, but change up the design a little bit. Okay guys, so now I've pretty much determined what sort of coaster we're going to make. We've got to figure out exactly what size we want. And for the size I'm thinking 100 square. 100 square should be a fairly good size for what we want in terms of a coaster. And thickness I'm thinking anywhere between 3 and 5 mil. And that's pretty much it. Also, our final finishing, it's going to be similar to the bases we made last time, which I'm going to put a felt bottom on the base. That's just so whatever's surface you put it on a coffee table or bench, you're not actually damaging that in any way. But with all that worked out, I'm going to get into my actual wood selection and then we're going to go from there. Okay guys, so I've got a few different types of material. These are some premium hardwoods. These are sort of more rough sawn bits, and these are just straight pine, literally pine that you get from the hardware store trimmed up. Now with these two I'm going to stack them up, make sort of a hardwood softwood pattern. I'm just going to glue them up using standard clamps and some wood glue. These ones I'm going to wait until the actual sun's up because they're going to be for the solid coasters. No pattern there, literally just straight raw material. See that tomorrow when I'm working on that. But for the rest of the evening, all I'm doing is gluing these bits up and we will be going from there.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 This is the worst.
Okay guys, so overnight the glue has set up. So our next step is actually to cut off sort of the excess of all this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the safest way that I tend to cut thin stuff on the table saw and the process of sort of keeping ourselves as safe as possible. Okay guys, so as you just saw, I finished cutting the coasters to their final dimension. Now as you did also see, there's still some rough edges on these coasters. So what I am going to do is I'm going to use the foam backing pad with some light grit sandpaper just to take off those sharp edges and put a little bit of a radius on there. And then we will be moving into putting some high gloss clear coat on it. And then a felt bottom, and that will pretty much take them to their final sort of finish. But I'm going to jump on with that, and you can follow along as I do so.
Two hours later.
Cool. Okay, time to let them fully set up for a bit, and then we will come back, trim up the excess felt, and that should be it. Okay guys, so with that final trim up, that brings the coasters to completion. The felt really allows it to slide across whatever surface you put on, really preventing any damage to your coffee table or your hardwood bench tops if you've got any. There's not really much to do. Maybe let the clear coat harden for a couple more days before I put them into full-on use. However, I'm really happy with how the pattern ones came out, and even the hardwood ones, they look nice, simple, and sort of gives a rustic feel to the coaster. I've got a few sets. I'm not sure how many coasters come in a standard set. I think it's 4. I've got maybe about 10 or 12 of each of them, so enough to make a couple sets. And yeah guys, with that pretty much ends the video. However, I just want to say I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe because that really helps. And also engage down in the comments with some other stuff you might like to see. That way I can sort of make some stuff that I want to do that you guys might want to see. And just a reminder that if you do get out in the shed or make something, it doesn't have to be overly complicated like my last video. It can be something as simple as a block of wood with some felt on the bottom to make some coasters. So without further ado, I guess I'll see you in the next one. You guys take it easy and I will catch you then.